Hello, everybody. Welcome along to Watch Along number 2. Since we've been in actually, it's Watch Along number 3 because I did Ipswich Town gloriously winning at Bracknell in the FA Cup at the start of the week. We did our first Championship Watch Along in a fair wee while, though. Last week we did Burnley against Sheffield United. That did not let us down, did it? A 5-2 win for the Blaze. We've got Burnley again. And today, I mean, actually, to be fair, it says Burnley 0, Blackburn 0. Let's change that down there to say Burnley versus Blackburn. Watch along live. It is a big local derby. It's a big game at the top of the Championship as well. Start filling those comments up with your thoughts. Yesterday, Sheffield United went top of the table. They won down at Cardiff. Burnley, as you can see, they're in second, Blackburn in third. So if this game is drawn, Burnley will go into the World Cup break top of the table. If this game is won by Blackburn, Blackburn will go into the World Cup break on top of the Championship. Very, very high stakes, as if the sort of local derby matchup nature of it wasn't already. We will get into the teams. I've got them ticking along down the bottom there. Let's just say some hellos in the comments. Johnny, underrated derby. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's a feisty one, this one. Really looking forward to it. Ewan, good afternoon to you. Lias, good afternoon to you. Alistair, too. No, Sarge, I am very good. Very much looking forward to this. Alex, who do I think will win? Well, if you've seen the prediction show, I did back Burnley, but Blackburn have mugged me off all season. So it's a derby, isn't it? Big result for the Borough yesterday. Yeah, we can do some very good result for the Borough. My Norwich friends not too happy, though, yesterday. What else have we got here? Ready for some football. So, good way to start the day watching the cricket. Yes, congratulations to the England cricket team. We've just won the T20 World Cup? I am not a cricket guy, I have to say, but there you go. Toby, if Norwich sack Smith, which is what we all want, who would be a realistic replacement? I'll put that to the chat. Interesting one. I'm sure the Russ Martin bandwagon will start with that one. Hey, Fulham 58. Chris cheering on the mighty Clarets. XX Ben's going to be a great match. I hope so. David, welcome along. Scott Parker to Norwich. It's not a bad shout, is it? He's done the parachute job twice. Stephen, up the effing Borough. There you go, the Borough fans. Happy in the chat after yesterday. The Norwich fans, less so. Understand both clubs' point of view. Help me out, guys. Can you hit the thumbs up button if you are watching right now? Hit subscribe too if you haven't already. Lots of familiar names, so I know you probably already have. And I thank you kindly. Right, I've got the teams ticking along at the bottom. I think FootMob have got the team shapes correct. Let me just remove that banner. So give me your thoughts on the sides. Remember, we did Burnley last week, so very, very familiar with this bunch. Muric in goal. Now, I never like to target a particular player, but target is exactly what Sheffield United did with him. They stuck all the set plays on top of him, stuck big guys on him. So look out for that. I wonder whether Blackburn might try and unsettle Muric in goal in possession and particularly get a few set plays and a few crosses on him. Worked a treat. Martson are the fullbacks. I like both of those players a lot as FootMob decides to drop out right as we're doing the teams. Very, very helpfully. Hopefully it's going to return. There you go. It's back. Apologies if there are any internet issues as we go. Harwood, Bellis and Bayer are strapping but good footballing centre halves there. That's exactly the same back five and the double pivot in front of them, the same as we had last week. Cullen and Cork. Cork will probably sit a little bit upgrade needed there. It looks like I'm back. Again, huge apologies if there are internet connection issues. We didn't have any last week, so maybe my lovely provider is doing some work this week. Anyway, hopefully you caught just bang through the subs. So who's still for them? He's a good weapon off the bench there. Goodmanson. Spare. Apologies. I will keep talking. Please don't feel the need to mention it in the chat. Try and keep that to the football, and I'll look after the tech side. My apologies. Again, Kaminski in goal for Blackburn. Hyam, Ayala, I believe Clinton Moller. That may well be a debut there. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Britton and Hedges, the wing-backs. We used to see in Britain down the right-hand side for Barnsley when we covered them. Looks like he's going to be playing down the left according to Footmob. Morton, I believe he's a loanee from Liverpool, isn't he? And Travis in the centre of midfield. Ben Brereton, Diaz is obviously a huge threat in from the left-hand side. Gallagher up top, and Jake Garrett, 19 years old, into the derby. Looks like he's played a bit this season. Yeah, 3 appearances there, but big call from John Dahl Thomason to throw him in there. The bench for Blackburn then Vale, Dolan, Dack, Buckley, Pickering, Wharton, and Pears. Remember, there are 2 Whartons. That is Scott, the centre-back, on the bench there. Adam, the one that there's a lot of excitement over, who's a sort of attacking central midfielder type player, is not going to figure. Sky, I've just seen their formation. They've got Garrett just dropped in the midfield rather than off the front there with BBD and Gallagher. So we'll keep an eye on those team shapes. Forgive me, a lot of people, we struggle with this. They're doing the Poppy round of applause. Now, I will keep talking, but obviously we champion that cause. Let's have a look here. In the chat, this is a very tight championship season. Burnley predicted 87 and they're leading. Yeah, that would be low. We'd expect someone to get 90 at some points. It's always bloody Burnley. What, on Sky? Maybe so. Hey, maybe so. Burnley v Man United, next game of the Carabao Cup. Real old-fashioned local derby. 2 founder members of the league. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Apologies if you did lose me for a little bit there. So I will ignore any of those comments. Do I think Arsenal will win the league? We'll stick on the championship, but I'm quite enjoying Arsenal's challenge at the top of the Premier League. Very, very nice indeed from them. Right. Hopefully our internet connection is going to be less temperamental than it was a minute ago. Again, just have a look down there. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We are now going to get the last post, I think, and are they going to do a minute's silence? I hate to say it. Sometimes in derby matches, they go for a minute's applause. It looks like they're doing a minute's silence. So again, obviously, I will keep talking. I'll keep talking through this. And yeah, if you want to pay your own silent tribute there, lots of poppies falling on the LED boards there. Looks absolutely fantastic there, doesn't it? Combined 11. Oh, I need to give that a lot of thought, but I have strict rules on combined 11s that you have to have at least 5 players from both sides, because sometimes people get, well, I say sometimes, every single football conversation that's ever existed gets tribal, doesn't it? And people put 10 players from one team and 1 from the other. But Zian Fleming, yes, very impressive. Very impressive indeed. The Evans, is Dak out of favour on the road to full recovery? He's out of favour. And lots of rumours that he might be rejoining his former boss, Tony Mowbray, up at Sunderland. We will see what transpires in January there in terms of Bradley Dack. JC, afternoon, mate. All good. I have had a good weekend. What's my score prediction on this one based on the lineups? I will still stick with a Burnley win in this one, but that's with full respect to Blackburn, who have been tremendous this season. And in fact, if we bring that league table up, we've still got that lovely quirk from Blackburn, who lose a lot of games, but we've said this many times on the channel about 3 points for a win. You can lose a lot of games if you win a lot of games, and Blackburn have won more games than anybody in the Championship this season. 12 wins in 20 has brought up 36 points. As has been pointed out in the chat, no one at 2 points per game as we come up to the halfway mark. But Blackburn well in there, and they've lost 8 games. And if you look down to, you can see Luton there. In fact, let's pull up someone else who's lost 8 games. There you go. Look, Middlesbrough have lost 8. And if you go all the way down, West Brom have only lost 7. But it says so much about the value. I know this sounds like stating the bleeding obvious. The value of winning in the 3 points for a win system is absolutely massive, isn't it? Right, we are about to kick off. Yeah, get some predictions in if you want. 2-2, 3-2 Burnley. Yeah, goals, we hope. Afternoon, Dave. Afternoon, Matthew. Some familiar names and faces there. Great to see you. Well played. Yeah, well played Brentford yesterday. Outstanding from the Bees to win at, I was going to say Main Road then, at the Etihad. Right, it is Burnley versus Blackburn in the watch-along. We'll put 0-0 up there right now. We have kicked off. I'll give you a timestamp after 1 minute, unless there's something going on. We'll get all hooked up together. I am on Sky Sports Football Live HD if you want to watch on exactly the same channel on your TV. Remember, if you're watching on Sky Go or on a smart TV, you'll probably be a bit behind, so make sure you hit pause on me. I don't want to yell out for a goal before perhaps you see it. Right, teams are ticking across the bottom. Let's do a quick rattle through and we'll do a time sync. Players just settling in here. Yeah, ball's just in the left-back position with Martson. So, Burnley, Muric in goal. So, let me read the banner. Vitinho and Martson fullbacks. Bayer, Harwood, Bellis centre-backs. Cork and Cullen, the double pivot. It's Benson, Brownhill, Zaruri off. Barnes up top. No Rodriguez. Big miss for Burnley. Kaminsky in goal for Blackburn. Hyam, Ayala, Moller. Britton, Hedges, wingbacks. Morton, Travis. We think Garrett, according to Sky, is going to be in with them in central midfield with Gallagher and Ben Brereton. Diaz playing up top. Right, let's get into this action now as Benson is closed down by Hedges down that left-hand side. Predictions, throw them in there. 1:27 on the clock. I'll give you a proper time sync, hopefully at 2 minutes. Harwood Bellis knocks it back to Muric. Remember, Burnley, heavy possession side, will play in their own penalty box, will keep the ball. Blackburn engaging a little bit, but not full-on press. I don't think they're really going to, it doesn't look like they're going to go completely all in that regard. Garrett does look like he's in a more midfield role, maybe a number 10 role as Gallagher attempts to help it on to Diaz running past him. Bayer plays it to Harwood Bellis. Burnley, you'd imagine, will have plenty of the ball, and Blackburn will look for those quick counters, and especially we know exactly what's coming in the Championship with Diaz and coming in off the left-hand side, storming in there, quick early balls to him. That happened under Mowbray, and Thomason has continued it. It's a repeated trick, but it's a blooming good one when you've got Diaz with his speed and power. Here comes Vitinho down the right for Burnley. Oh, lovely ball. Slid to Brownhill. Brownhill sticks a lovely cross in. Oh, crikey. I think a few Burnley fans are going to think that went in. Excellent play by Burnley. It's a really good pass by Vitinho. Takes out Moller, who's ball watching a bit. Great cross by Brownhill. Barnes is arriving. He doesn't really get a clean strike on it. It's good defending, actually. And the ball kind of rolls around the outside of the net. Just doesn't miss by a lot, that one. Corner to Burnley, which Brownhill takes short. I'll go to your comments in just a second. Benson, nice feet from the short corner. Benson, can he get the crossover? Yes, he can. Deep one to the back post. That is going all the way out in front of the Blackburn fans in the away end. Let's say some hellos in the chat. And welcome, sir. Who do I think will get sacked next in the Championship? Ooh, lots of people have got their eyes on Nigel Pearson and Dean Smith. Hopefully no one loses their job, but those are the ones that keep getting mentioned. There you go. Brian, 2-1 Burnley. Sounds like a prediction. George is yelling out, draw. What else we got? Imagine if Benjamin Bloom is different to Ben Brereton Diaz as a player. I think I've got a lot of similarities to Ben Brereton. No, I haven't at all. There we go. 2-2 says Helen. Somehow Reading won a game. Some excellent wins yesterday. Reading, one of them late on, actually, at Hull. We'll do the review show tomorrow, means we've got 4 weeks break now. This will be most wide open automatic race in the Championship for several years. Maybe so, yeah. Whenever I think that, though, Ewan, someone then goes and wins 8 out of 10 or something and heads out on their own. But at the moment, I would have to agree with you. White Hart Dane tipping Burnley 1-0. Excited for the World Cup, George, very much so. We'll figure out what we're doing for our watch-alongs. 4 games a day. You'll all remember the Euros, me trying to do back-to-back games and you guys ordering me takeaways in and stuff. It was tremendous. Blackburn look to sit in. No surprise, Burnley have a lot of the ball. 12 possible teams trying to get this. Normally more than that, isn't it? But that's the beauty of the playoff system, isn't it? Muller has it in the left centre-back position. Nice little back heel there by Britton up the line. It's one back by Burnley. Vitinho is closed down and it's knocked forward all the way to Harwood Bellis. And Burnley have possession again. It's the pattern we expected. Burnley got to be careful, though, because they'll be very aggressive with how high they put the fullbacks up and the big spaces they leave. And we know Blackburn, especially with Diaz and those quick balls to him, could be able to exploit that. Rovers win it back in midfield with Travis. Martson knocks that one down the line. Cut out for a Blackburn throw-in. 2-1 Blackburn says Zoe. What did I make of the Brentford match yesterday? Terribly impressed with Brentford. I haven't seen highlights, but I was working on the ITV show again yesterday, so a lot of it goes straight over my head whilst we're prepping for that show to go out. But I will catch up with our lovely dearly departed there. Here comes Martson down the left for Burnley. Martson, even wider than him, is Zaruri. I thought Zaruri might have fouled Hedges there. Alas, no. Martson takes the throw in. Here is Harwood Bellis. Little give and go. Harwood Bellis still on the ball. Loads of time on it. Steps into the opposing half. Plays a long diagonal. Headed away. Switch of play by Cork. Burnley building up the possession here. Here's Benson, who was really good, wasn't he, in that last watch along we did against Sheffield United. But here come Blackburn on the counter-attack. Really, really decent. Carry through it goes. Ooh, nearly all the way on to Gallagher, who would have been in on goal. I think it was Britton who carried it right the way up the pitch, possibly. Forgive me if I'm wrong about that. And here come Burnley. 68% possession to the Clarets, 32 to Blackburn, say the early numbers. Not quite sure how up to date they are. Jean Dahl wanted Anel. I assume we're talking about Ahmed Odzic there. James, good day for sport. T20, this one. And F1 later. And those of you who like the NFL will be watching that into the wee small hours. Nearly managed to get the slide through. I think that was Callum Britton, who's started the game well. Couldn't quite, what was it, Travis Pass? Slide through. Hard old work. Reading the numbers on those Blackburn shirts is all I will say. Cullen has been fouled by Travis, has he? Didn't look a lot in that, to be honest, but we won't pile in on refs. I'll leave that to you lot, hey? Free kick to Burnley then on the right-hand side. This one's going in the box. Remember, Harwood Bellis and Bayer, big lads. Don't forget the darts as well. There you go. Sport all day for you lot. We love to see it. Okay, Brownhill swings the free kick in, volleyed goalwards by Barnes. Really difficult shot to take on that one. Would have been a hell of a goal, and Kaminsky has it covered. Just lets that one drop past the post. Here is Harwood Bellis at the back again. Martson. Burnley on top, I think you'd all agree. But Blackburn, with that big counter-attack opportunity, exactly the pattern we said that it would be. Closest anyone's really come, though, was that Barnes chance where Brownhill put the cross in, Barnes arriving on the near post. I think he got something on it. I think the centre-half got something on it as well. Just went wide. That's the size of it so far. Liam, welcome, sir. Pleased to see you. Here is Harwood Bellis. Could a team do what Hull did, get automatic promotion for less than 80 points? Maybe. That'll be the way it goes if no one surges out. We know what happens. That table squishes right up. A glass of claret, Brian. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, hey? Another foul there. I think Garrett on Vitinho. And then Garrett goes down afterwards. Ian, any arguments? Don't call Rotherham little old Rotherham. Very disrespectful, Ian, there. Any arguments little Rotherham can't be competitive? No, not from me. No, doing very nicely Rotherham this season. This season sucks. Bring back Twine and Matter. It does suck if you're an MK fan, doesn't it? Liam, MK going under 3-1 to Derby. MK are awful at home, aren't they, as well, Liam? Not good. Frankfurt Airport. Is that where you are? Massive Alan Noble. Stoke did in 07-08, right. Yep, it's a race, isn't it? We say that a lot on the channel, guys, and you're totally right. We do points projections and we look at the last 10 years and 2 points per game and can you get 75 to get in the playoffs? It's a race. If no one gets above 77, the champions will have 78 then, won't they? You know the deal. Need good updates. Hopefully you'll get them from here. Cork switches that out to Vitinho. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm not having a claret like somebody else is, but I'll raise my cup of tea to you. Thank you for joining us. Hit the like button, remember. Martson puts the cross in. Ooh. Had 2 on the back post there. Burnley. Not very Burnley style football. We expect them to play into the box with 10 passes, but that was a nice cross in. Oh, big tackle there by Moller. You love to see it in a derby. Brownhill, Benson, 13 gone. Benson again, inside. It's good stuff from Burnley, this. Cullen helps it on. That's Martson's come all the way across. Yeah, I thought he looked offside, actually, to be fair. Looks like a fair call from the linesman there. Really good stuff from Burnley, that they're moving the ball quickly. And the left back making a run all the way over to the right wing. He is offside, of course. Good side to watch, Burnley. But, hey, give me a counter-attack team. Give me a direct team. All different styles make the Championship what it is. Clinton Moller has stayed down. He really flew into a big tackle. I think he's hurt himself, actually. Let's go. Actually, we'll go to comments in a sec. He hit Cork hard. Cork jumped straight back up. His knee kind of bent back there. Cork took it like a champ, actually. It wasn't foul, I don't think. He just hit him hard. What do we got here? Liam, this team is so poor. Yesterday, I think he's talking about MK. Derby fans. Yeah, Derby took 6,500 there yesterday, didn't they? Alex, is Peterborough's 54 points being... I don't know. Someone will fall off a cliff and not get past or get low 40s or, God, even worse, under 40. Who knows? Hey, who knows? If Bournemouth decide not to keep Gary O'Neill, I think Luton should go for him. Yeah, quite like that. I'm not going to read this person's name. That's dreadful. Blackburn having a great season. We're good to see him back up in the Prem. Ryan, reckon there'll be a lot of cards in this one. Already been a few fouls, I'm guessing. Yeah, it looks feisty. For a lot of cards, normally you get the yellow comes out early, then we tend to see a spate of them, don't we? Callum, don't know what's going on at the moment, but I like it. Nice. 80% possession, says Sky. To Burnley, of course. No surprise there, but don't let that fool you into think that Burnley are kind of dominating the game. They're dominating the possession, but, you know, this is 0-0, and I've counted 2 decent openings, and it's been sort of 1 apiece. So, predictions, back here, they came out on Friday, and I suggested that I thought Burnley might win. Blackburn getting a little bit of possession in the back three now. Moller is up. He's okay. I think he just stayed down as a precaution there. Ayala down the right-hand side. It goes for Blackburn. Tried the ball into the channel there, and both strikers came short. A bit of a miscommunication. Here is Taylor Harwood Bellis. No, I'm not doing the BBD pause on his double barrel name. That joke could get very... It's tiresome enough just doing it on Diaz, isn't it, for you lot? But can't do it on every double barrel name. Who's the ref? Christopher says David Coote. And we hope we don't notice him or talk about him in the slightest. Mark, how are you? I'm great. What do I think of Millwall Preston? Huge surprise, Millwall Preston. Not that Millwall won, but I had that as a 0-0, I think. 4-2. Fleming with a hat-trick for Millwall. Excellent performance. Again, review show tomorrow. We'll put the review out and we'll talk about that game and all the other games in plenty of detail. Here is Harwood Bellis. Bayer just kind of got in a sort of left back position then. That's why I paused before I said his name. I was like, that can't be a centre half out there. And they often look from centre half to that ball out to the left, don't they? We've seen it a few times already. Comments. Sorry, I'm scrolling up. Is the atmosphere good? No idea. I've got the sound off. I suspect it's nice and loud up there in Burnley. Malmo played in Europe 6 times and won 6 times last 12 years. John Dull was the only coach to manage to take them and qualify. There we go. And he's doing a very good job at Blackburn, isn't he? Millwall, 4th gen, heading back to the den soon. Hopefully, obviously not for the next 4 weeks. Difficult for me working Saturdays now, as many of you know, on the EFL show. Midweeks, we try. I would remind you, I have a going on 15, 16-month-old daughter as well, which has made it quite a lot harder, but we love it. There's that attempted ball from centre half out to the left wing again. They've got it at the second attempt. Cross goes in from Zaruri, headed away. Some really good territory here from Burnley. Plenty of possession as well, as we suspected. Here is Bayer. Martson. Keep the comments coming. I'll answer as many as I can as we go. Vitinho has got it. Dane, watching Atalanta v Inter. Nice. Remember, I should give a plug, even though they're not a sponsor at the moment. One Football, you probably watch via the app, or is that just Saturday nights? Anyway, download the One Football app. We'll give them a shout out. Welcome, Mr. E. Malmo floundered since Thomason left. Yeah, he's gone up and up and up in my estimations since arriving. Thomason looks like a proper manager, doesn't he? Howard Bellis tries to clip that one over the top. Blackburn happy enough to drop right in and let Howard Bellis and Bayer have the ball quite high up there. Benson comes in off the right, tries to bend it in the top corner. That one's in with the Blackburn fans. Father and son, wildlife and exploring team. Someone good needs to sign Brereton Diaz in January. Too good for championship level. I think that's all tied up that he's going to stay and run his contract down now, isn't it? So I think he will be going for free at the end of the season. Someone will get a good player there. Adam, do you think Birmingham will now stay up? Yes, I do. I think Birmingham will do much better than stay up. They've been excellent, haven't they? What do I do for the EFL show? I help out with the pundits on the second hour. So we're watching all the goals come in and bit of focus there on the Championship. And I'm beavering away at League One and League Two. And then we all come together and have a bit of a chit-chat about them before rehearsal. Foul there by Cork. Oh, and down in the box there goes BBD. He's a big lad. He hit the deck there. My first instinct was that wasn't any kind of a penalty call, but we'll wait for the replay as always. Here comes Benson now. Quick break for Burnley. Benson into the box. Benson puts it across low. Good defending again. I think, was that Ayala? It wasn't actually. It might have been Hyam coming all the way across there. Twice, Ashley Barnes has tried to get across the near post, and twice Blackburn have marshalled him very, very well. Here comes Benson, again down that right-hand side. And out and over it goes. Right, here's that penalty kill. There's nothing in that at all. Bayer is with BBD. It's just a little feel there. I think Diaz is waiting for a bigger hit than he gets, and he hits the deck. That's not a penalty for me. Other opinions are available, and feel free to give yours in the chat. Caitlin, thoughts on Vincent Kompany? Yeah, big fan. Love to watch Burnley. Great player. Enough said. Yeah, great. Proper football legend Kompany, isn't he? Could the men do what the ladies did and win a major championship? If we're talking about the World Cup, I'm less confident. Maybe that chance was the Euros, wasn't it? In the final, home turf. No South American teams, no African teams as well. Yeah, we shall see. Can Coventry push for autos? We had this with Forest last year, didn't we? If you have the start that Forest did last year or Coventry did this year, however good you're playing and however good the team are, and Forest were brilliant last season, and Coventry have started now. They've done 13, 14 games now of what Forest did. You have to be so good for so long. And Forest came close, didn't they, to getting automatics there. Just lost that big vital game against Bournemouth. But essentially, you have to be, if you give away the first 7 or 8 games, you have to be bang at it for the next 38. No blips at all. So we'll see. Again, if they roll out Coventry the 2 points per game they've been getting for the last 13, they'll be close, won't they? We shall see. Oh, Thomas Kaminski has gone down, holding his face. We got some Royal Rumble stuff here. Ashley Barnes is having a bit of a laugh at that. Now, what is referee Coot going to say? I'm going to wait for a replay here. Oh, look, very dramatic to me. I think referee Coot is going to tell Kaminski to get up. Let's have a look. Anything in this at all? That's poor from Kaminski. I'm sorry. I like Kaminski as a keeper. They come together. Barnes shoves him here. Kaminski's holding his face. I don't like it. Good keeper. But come on, don't go down holding your face. That's nonsense, isn't it? Not impressed. Again, good keeper. We don't like to see that, though. He's trying to get Barnes sent off there, isn't he, for a shove in the face, and there just wasn't one. That is disingenuous from the Blackburn keeper, who clears now. We will keep the comments coming. I'll try and answer as many as possible, although here is Diaz, who goes down. Referee Coot, who's doing a good job so far, waves advantage, and then there's another foul on Lewis Travis. I think Diaz holds up 3 fingers there, saying he's been fouled 3 times. Now, I think he was fouled there, Diaz, but it was a good advantage by Coot. Tactical foul then by Cork on Travis thereafter. So I'll try and get all your comments answered here. Nice one. Hope you get it presented well. I think Hugh's doing a fine job on the presenter's gig there. And believe me, seeing it up close, that is not an easy job on the EFL show on ITV. 74 teams Hugh needs to know about. I think he does brilliantly. I can't believe Blues won on Friday. We'd be in the playoff spots. Yeah, big up John Eustace there. We'll do some videos on manager performance, but Eustace certainly will be up there, particularly in terms of expectations. I had Birmingham going down at the start of the season with all the chaos there. They've done fantastically well to be just really stable and decent side, haven't they? Speaking of Birmingham, there's another one. Hard on Austin Trusty. I think he must have been close, Adam. I think I met Adam, didn't I, at Birmingham earlier in the season? So big hello to him. If you do see me at a game, do come and say hello if you watch the channel. Really, really do appreciate meeting you guys face to face. Barnes, that's what he's there for. Backs into Ayala. Referee Coot says, don't do that. Put your arms around. Coxie, so I wasn't at Blue Monday live yesterday. It's not going to be shown, no, but we will be. I'll be on Blue Monday. In fact, I'm hosting the show tonight. So Richard and Dave will be on talking about Blue Monday live. Last night, we had Joe Sheehan, the Ipswich women's manager, and the great Russell Osman live on the show, which was hosted from Portman Road, which is amazing, that the silly little podcast that I founded. Big thanks to Richard, obviously, for taking the heavy lifting there for that one. Free kick goes in to the Blackburn box there. Cork was arriving I have to say, Blackburn, every time a cross has gone in, have defended it pretty well, haven't they? You almost know a Burnley goal in this game is going to be from the inside forwards dribbling into the box, and a Blackburn goal is going to be a counter with Diaz coming in from the left. You kind of know the type of goal that will be in this game, don't you? Kev, legend actually, Kev, Sunderland fan, isn't he? Yes, we will be watching along for the World Cup games. I don't quite know what I'm going to do. I'll have a look at the schedule this week and try and formulate some kind of a plan. Obviously, we'll do all the England games, try and do the Wales games as well. But in the main, I'll probably stick poles out. Here's Brownhill, edge of the box. If that didn't take a deflection, that was a terrible shot by Brownhill, who's a very good player. It's gone high and not very handsome. Wide-eyed and legless too. Into... That's a terrible shot from Brownhill. He's a much better player than that. Deary me. Louis, mid-season review. Yep, sounds good. What do I think of Southgate? I'm a big fan of Southgate. I think he's done well in the last two tournaments. Not been great in between these two. So I have my fingers crossed that he can get to the standards of World Cup 2018 and the Euros in between. Here is Ayala. What's he doing? He's trying to dribble out of the box. Barnes has closed him down. Horrible bit of playing out the back from Ayala there, who's good-headed kick-it defender, but not quite in the mould that the two Burnley centre-backs maybe are in. Here is one of those Burnley centre-backs, Harwood Bellis there. Pings it out to Zaruri. Zaruri comes in. Oh, nice looking cross there. Again, I have to praise Blackburn. Hyam and Ayala particularly have been on the end of all those crosses when they've gone into the box, haven't they? 0-0 would be a great result for Blaze fan. Yeah, it would indeed, wouldn't it? You know, on either side getting 3 points. Get it? What would Mick Mills say, the Ipswich legend? You don't want those 3 points going into the table, do you? Draws slow down those totals, don't they? 2 points going into the table instead of 3. Here is Benson in off the right. Benson hits the shot low. Easy save for Kaminski. Seb, Huddersfield turned it around after the break. Yeah, Mark Fotheringham's got time now. A few newish managers. I'm thinking of Rossini as well. We expect someone to be going in at Luton very soon. We'll be looking forward to basically another pre-season, hey? Zaruri is either brilliant or really bad. Typical winger. Typical winger. Here is Ayala to Hyam. It's going to be a Burnley throw there. Cheap giveaway from Rovers at the back. 31:28 on the clock. I didn't do a time sync ever, did I? Here's Harwood Bellis, who I bet has had the most touches out of anybody in this game. Seems to have been on the ball a lot. Here's Benson, who's probably the player Burnley would like to be on the ball a lot. It's cleared out by a Blackburn. Accurate passes. There you go. 42. Taylor, Harwood, Bellis. Tops that list. I know that's not the same as touches, but you take my point, don't you? Have I been to the Turf? No, I haven't. And I'd very much like to. I actually had to put Burnley bottom of my favourite Championship grounds because it's the only one I haven't been to. What are my thoughts on players? Time waste is very tedious, isn't it? It's difficult to police. The only way you're ever properly going to police that sort of thing. Cross goes in, looking for Gallagher there for Blackburn. Oh, lovely turn by Barnes there. Silky from the big guy. Of course, he then falls in a heap and gives the ball away. Quick one forward from Blackburn, who have not had, other than that big counter-attack from Callum Britton, where he carried the ball right down the pitch, haven't had a lot of attacking threat, have they? I think it was Garrett who stuck that over the top, the youngster. Is there a chance Birmingham could do a Huddersfield? There's a chance, yeah. The thing with Huddersfield, though, was they were so solid, weren't they, last season, where they could, they had that quality where they could show up and you knew bare minimum every game they were going to be really hard to beat. And that's not saying Birmingham aren't capable of that, but that's a big skill, isn't it? Here is Barnes wanted to play a give and go there. And the 1-2 was not forthcoming there. I think it was Martson forward, possibly from left back. Here is Moller. Burnley content to press much, much higher than Blackburn are. There's a clear, and you can see the difference in the instructions from the two managers here. Burnley, it's press at all times, and they've gone right high up, whereas Blackburn have just stood off Harwood, Bellis and Bayer, particularly the two centre backs. Thoughts on Man City, Brentford? Loved it. Love an underdog tale. Sheffield United should win the title and join QPR and Millwall. There you go. Get some money on that. You'll get a really good price on those three as the final promoter. Now, here comes Diaz down the left. This is where he is super dangerous. Diaz against Bayer. Diaz comes inside. Good play by Diaz. Garrett. Britton arriving. Comes inside on the right foot. Nice reverse ball. Good disguise. Morton sticks it across to the near post looking for Diaz. Best. It's cleared by Burnley, by the way. Best looking Blackburn attack there of the game, I would say. Some good football. They're at it now, Blackburn. Trying to build it up with Hedges down the right. And a throw in to the Rovers. Tony or Wilson. I like both a lot. It's Tony for me with my EFL hat on after his goal scoring exploits. Do I see Graham Potter last in the season at Chelsea? Hopefully. But I wouldn't be surprised at anybody if he didn't. Sadly. Big switch of play there from Blackburn. Vitinho heads it away. Could spell this for Blackburn. You can see the game has shifted from mainly being inside the Blackburn half to more around the halfway line and with a Burnley attacking tilt for the last few minutes. Will Coventry keep Gyökeres? I think they will, probably. Who's going to buy him? Southampton now. Jones is there with his Championship head on. I don't know. Depends what the bid is, doesn't it? Money talks, eh? Money talks. Money talks. Ayala. Oh, nice ball forward there. It went under the foot of Garrett. That would have been a nice opening if he could have brought that under control. Offside flag then went up as I think Diaz ahead of him became active. Martsen. Inside to Bayer. My Burn Ali is wonderful. Is that like England? Burn Ali. Stick those extra syllables in your football chants. It'll only be pedants like me who say that's too many. There is J Rod, Burnley's top scorer, in the stand, as he was last week as well. He is a miss, isn't he? Want to see Arsenal sign Tony in January? That'd cost a pretty penny, wouldn't it? How much do you reckon Brentford would sell Tony for? 40 million? 50 million? You tell me. How much was Ben White? Was he 50 million? Little reverse there for Diaz. Tried to keep it in. Couldn't quite. Don't mention bets, but Borough to win the league. Hey, Liam, guess who I had at the top of my my ratings of managers at the start of the season. Chris Wilder. There you go. So the Championship never ceases to surprise us. 70 million, 50 million. Got to love transfer fee talk, haven't you? 20 million difference in the first two calls there. How old is Tony now? Probably still a good age, isn't he? Agree on Huddersfield analysis. Made us much more solid. Oh, in terms of West Brom, right. Yeah. Sorry. Didn't put two and two together very quickly there. Vindaloo. Here is Harwood Bellis, who's having a good game, isn't he? Productive game. Fizzes that one into Benson, who says, I didn't want that to feet. I wanted that over my shoulder. But I think Benson's asking a lot for a perfectly flighted ball over the 26, Tony. Yeah, he's worth a lot then, isn't he? Premier League ready English striker who can do pretty much everything, can't he? Apart from sprinting behind at massive speed, but great player, Tony, isn't he? Best signing this season. If only someone had done a video on that, hey? You can find that on the channel. Bit of a curveball at number one in my best Championship signings this season, I have to say. Blake. Huddersfield really suck now. Crazy how bad they are when they're in the Premier League. Not so long ago. Well, hard old journey for Huddersfield, hasn't it? Relegation and then that takeover sucked the parachute payments out of the system, didn't it? Here is Harwood Bellis again. Oh, there you go. Last 10 minutes possession, says Sky. 57% Blackburn. I think it was 80% earlier in the game at some point. Obviously to Burnley. As we come up half time. Very on a knife edge, this one now, especially since Blackburn have come into it a bit more in the last, as you see with that possession stat in the last 10 minutes. It did look like if Burnley kept chipping away, they would be favourites in the biggest way. But maybe Blackburn coming into it suits Burnley a bit more now. Maybe get a bit more space. Bayer. Little one round the corner. Here is Vitinho. Vitinho inside back to Cullen. Tries to feed it through the eye of the needle. Intercepted by Blackburn. Good swarm, though, for Burnley, and they win it back. My love for Jean-Michel Seri has now turned to João Pedro. João Pedro is really good to watch, isn't he? One of the best dribblers in the league is João Pedro. So is Benson, actually, who's playing in this game. Yellow card has come out to Lewis Travis there, who body checked. Who was that? Was it Vitinho? And the first yellow card of the afternoon comes out. Travis, the Rovers captain, is the recipient. I'm super clever. Go like that, and it should appear. Well, actually, I wonder, because I've done my colours yellow, I wonder will it even show up? We'll find out in just a sec, won't we? Benson is going to take the free kick. No, he's not. Brownhill puts it in near post. Headed clear. It's gone loose. Oh, across the box it goes. Oh, that's a great save. It was headed goalwards. Kaminsky, really good save there. We criticised him for a bit of play acting earlier, but he's a good keeper, isn't he? It was poor on the near post, actually. I think Diaz didn't deal with it and headed goalwards, possibly by Harwood Bellis. I have to see another replay. I didn't quite see which Burnley player. Great save by Kaminsky there. And it goes again, headed goalwards. Kaminsky tips it over the bar. Well played, the Blackburn keeper. One really good save and a more routine one there. I was saying earlier in the game, Blackburn dealing really well. It was actually Barnes with the second one. Just tipped over the bar. Excellent from the Blackburn keeper. Can we see the first one again? I think Skyer presumably stirring for a handball shout here. It was Harwood-Bellis. That's a really good save, that first one. It's not right in the corner, but Harwood-Bellis really powers the header towards goal, and Kaminski tips it round the post with a good, strong left hand. Anything less, and that one drops in the corner even with a hand on it. So Diaz does much better with his clearance there. Oh, Muric all the way up to halfway. Nearly gets closed down by Garrett there. Blackburn looking to take a quick throw with the keeper way out of his goal. Martin caught the ball there. I'm glad he knew what he was doing. Cameras on Kaminski again, who really excelled himself there. Is he in the Belgian squad, Kaminski? Someone let me know in the comments. I assume so. Here's Garrett, tries to slip that on to Diaz. Gallagher follows in well and wins that back. Hedges arriving down the right-hand side. Good press again, though, from Burnley. Brownhill, does he keep that in? Not quite. Should it have been a penalty for Blackburn? Are you talking about the Diaz one in the box? I didn't think so. No. A racing incident, as you guys say in the chat. Not all contact is a foul. If that's the one you are indeed talking about. Here's Muller. Ayala. He goes long. Oh, and Diaz. Oh, he was 1v1 there with Bayer. It's a really classy little step out there. It's a 50-50 there. If Diaz wins that, he is clean through on goal. Bayer, I don't know. It's in the lap of the gods sometimes. You know, where's that one going to bounce? But classy bit of play for Bayer to step out. Here's Barnes trying to get it out to Zeruri. Could close him down there. We are into 1 minute of stoppage time. We can go full Q&A at half time if you want. Kaminski never made the squad. Interesting. He has been in the Belgium squad before, hasn't he, Kaminski? I assume they've got Courtois still as their first choice. Moller. Ayala. And that is half time. It's Burnley 0, Blackburn 0 on a knife edge. Good competitive derby game. I think Burnley controlled it really for maybe 20, 25 minutes at the start, and then it's been much more even since then. Blackburn coming into it. In terms of chances, all the good ones really have been Burnley's, haven't they? I would suggest, although Blackburn have had a good couple of openings, as you'd imagine, on the counter without really being able to get into that sort of big chance territory. Just towards half-time there, a couple of really good saves. Sorry, let's not exaggerate. You know, I hate it when people exaggerate. One really good save by Kaminski and then just one sort of routine save. But Harwood-Bellis' header well tipped around the post by Kaminski. All pretty tight other than that. Should we have a look at some numbers for you guys? Let's bring them up on the screen. Have Blackburn really got 0 on the XG? No shots for Blackburn. There you go. So I say about openings. There's been a couple of times where they've nearly been in. But yeah, 0 XG. We know what that means in terms of scoring. Only 0.38 though for Burnley. There's 7 shots there. You can see on the sort of left-hand side of the picture there, 70% near, 69% possession. And there is the shot map. And the majority of the top-rated players on FootMob there play for Burnley. Cullen, Harwood-Bellis, Brownhill, You can see, also, I think they've done 3 and 3 there, haven't they? Hedges, Kaminsky, and Hyam, top 3, for Blackburn. Right, let's go full scale Q&A. Although, yeah, I will endorse this. Can we get a like spike? Yes, do please. Can someone let me know how we're doing for likes? Please, if you're watching right now, do hit the like button. Really helps us out. It kind of boosts the stream and everything as it's happening on YouTube, and it gets recommended to more people if you hit the like button. Yesterday at the football, someone got hit by the ball right in front of me. You got to be careful with the ball. I once broke my finger at football. It wasn't even during the game. It was at Portsmouth, and Ipswich came out, and Richard Wright just booted the ball into the stand. I went to catch it. It was coming right to me, and some doofus from behind me leaned in front of me, tried to catch it, knocked my hand to the side, and then the ball smacked my finger straight on. And it was so painful, honestly. 56 likes. There you go. Hit the like button. See if we can get that flying. Now, get some questions in. We'll do some Q&A and whatnot. Where do I think Watford will finish? Calvin. Just bring the league table up while I answer that one. You'd think they'd be in the top 6. You kind of expect any parachute team, especially a year 1 parachute team, to be in the top 6. That feels like the bare minimum there. You can see Watford tucked in 4th. They've been spotty under Bilic. That's the first draw yesterday, wasn't it? The 0-0 down at Bristol City. So, yeah, Watford in 4th with Bilic, with Sarr, with João Pedro. Lots of ex-Premier League quality in that squad. So, Keenan Davis as well at Championship level is a monster of a striker, isn't he? So, yeah, you would expect Watford to certainly not be too much lower than they are right now. Right, keep questions coming. Right, this is an important question. We've got to assess Coventry, because Coventry, in fact, let's take a couple of minutes to talk about Coventry, because they had that ridiculous, weird start with the pitch being terrible, loads of postponements, and I have it on good authority, secondhand, but good authority, that they were very, very frustrated, and the players felt like they were still in pre-season shape right the way, into 6 or 7 games. Since Mark Robbins kind of tightened things up, and since Hamer came back, then Gyökeres hit form, and O'Hare came back, Coventry have obviously been really, really good. You bring would you look at the table quickly? So Coventry there, got a couple of games in hand on everybody, and they are only 2 points off Millwall in 6th spot, who they have 1 game in hand on. So let's just look at the Coventry run, because it's very, very good indeed. So I'm just going to bring it up, just finding it on the other screen. In fact, I'm going to need to make that smaller so you can see all the fixtures popping up. So if I bring this up here, that's the Coventry run at the start of the season. Ignore that top one, that's friendly. In fact, I'll scroll it out of view. So it was a horrible, horrible start. There's an EFL Cup game in there, but in all comps, they didn't win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row. Then from the start of October, you can see there, in fact, let me go to who scored, because I'll be able to do it from the 1st of October. Let me just bring Championship up there. Sorry, we're doing this on the hoof, but if I go custom dates and do the table from the 1st of October, you'll get a really good idea of how good Coventry have been. Let's just make that a little bit bigger. I won't be able to highlight them because the cursor will go away. But yeah, look at that. 26 points in 12 games is mighty, mighty impressive. 5 goals conceded in 12 games is also mighty, mighty impressive. You would suggest that type of form is unsustainably good. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? 26 points in 12. We look at 2 points per game as, just stunningly good form, and they're way above that. 24. So the issue I have when people talk about automatics and playoffs and all of that is how good Coventry. Let's just reverse that table. So if I make October in fact, let me go. Sorry, I'll go one day before so they don't get that win. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. You make statistics say anything you want. So that's the issue. We had this with Nottingham Forest, didn't we? So that first 7 games, Coventry got 3 points. I think Forest was even worse, wasn't it? Did Forest have 1 point from the first 8 or something crazy bad like that? So what that means for Coventry is if we do some very basic maths, and we're going to make lots of assumptions here. So Coventry got 3 points from the first 7 games. So in their remaining 39 games, if Coventry got 2 points per game for the remaining 39, that would be 39 times 2 would be 78. They would end on 81. So this is what I mean in terms of the standards. That would no doubt get you into the playoffs. And we think this season that probably get 4th, maybe even 3rd. Probably won't get the top 2 for someone who was asking earlier on. So that's where we are with Coventry. I think we can draw very direct parallels if they continue. I mean, 26 points in 12 games. Let's do that thing I often do where we add that out again over the next 12. So you can see Coventry there have got 29 in 19. So if you add on 26 over the next 12, they would have 55 from 31, which you would think wouldn't be trouble in the top 2, even with, if I've done my maths right there, even though that would be a stunning run of, 50, no, I can't have added that up right, can I? 29, it'd be 65, wouldn't it? 26 points from the next 12. No, it would be 55, wouldn't it? Yeah, I've got that right, from 31. So my point always being is that that head start is so hard to pull back. There you go. Right. What else are we saying here in the chat? Stephen, sick guy. Nice, that's me. Means a lot to fans of Burnley. There you go. You're welcome. Hit like. Barry, do you think Millwall could get promotion this year? There's always been the wonder with Millwall if they get into a playoff, because they won the League One playoffs under Neil Harris, didn't they? How hostile and how hard that away leg would be for someone. You almost assume that they would just have to draw the away game, Millwall, because you just think the Den in a playoff game would just be white hot, wouldn't it? So it's just getting in there, and they finished 8th. Finished 8th 3 times, Millwall. I know definitely finished 8th twice. So we will see. They're not far off it, are they? In fact, I'll say they're not far off it. They are in the top 6, are Millwall, as we speak. It's just been under Gary Rowett. They've been streaky, haven't they? Millwall, you would have to say. They would often go on good runs of clean sheets and wins and all of that lovely stuff. But then they'll go 6 games without a win or something and not score very many goals. So that's the worry, isn't it? There. And 0-0 would do nicely. Not the first Blade who said that in the chat, actually. He's obviously right. 0-0, take the points out of the table. We agree. JYE. Jai? I'm pronouncing that right. Worried about Leeds going down. Defending is so bad. They are leaky, aren't they? Leaky Leeds. Am I still gigging? Rarely. I still do keep my hand in, though, with a few little bits, though. How many more manager changes during the World Cup? Surely no more Vindaloo. Surely. Unless Bristol City might do something. I don't think Bristol City or Norwich. Those are the ones that you guys keep bringing up in the chat. I've got to say a huge thank you. There we go. Alexis, who's a fine YouTuber himself. I've been on his channel. $4.50 in the super chat. I'm going to drink to that, actually. I've got a Pepsi here. Thank you so much. Let's hope this game gets a spark. Yeah, it's tight, isn't it? Tight on a knife edge. Apart from the last 5 minutes, scrappy derby. Keep up the good. But thank you so much. And thank you for the super chat by Poland Millwall. Very much so. It can be so, can't it? Ipswich slipping. I hope not, Nick. I hope not. Who will win the World Cup? And do you think England will get? Yes, of course, I think England will get out of the group. If England don't have 4 or 6 points from the first two games, I will be surprised. Is it Iran first? Surely they'll be straight onto 3 points, won't they? Surely. Off for lunch. Back in a few. Enjoy. Ewan, I think Norwich will not make the top 6. Well, here we go. We're talking about parachute teams. That's the bare minimum for a year one parachute team, being that top 6, isn't it? Is there any chance they may be forced to sell a prized asset? Who's that, Lewis? Is it Coventry? We did a lot on Coventry. Yes, of course, there's a chance they're playing well. Are Everton going down? Possibly. That was an interesting noise, wasn't it? Sorry. Do you think the Wolves build situation has unsettled the Rangers squad? The timing seems to point towards that, but I just don't see how the players have got weak mentality if it has, Dave. And do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, your manager got linked with a job, he didn't take it. We're now going to be rubbish for the next 5 games. Why? Do you know what I mean? So the timing does very, very much add up there. Is that Luke Hyam? Absolutely not. No, I think he's finished, isn't he, Luke Hyam? It's Dom Hyam for Coventry. Not Coventry, Blackburn. Went from Coventry to Blackburn. Pray for Blackburn to win. There you go, each to their own. Fleming, fire. Yes, he was yesterday. Fleming is the best Millwall signing this season. Well, very, very much so. I think we would all agree with that. It's been excellent. Cresswell's been decent, but he's a low knee, isn't it? Not permanent signing. Right. 0-0 here. Burnley v Blackburn. We would like a goal, wouldn't we? Where do we think it's coming? Get your predictions in for the second half. Which, Sky are giving us a look at Nathan Teller warming up at halftime and Bradley Dack, two very nicely creative players. If we need a goal, either of those guys may be able to provide the spark. We'll rattle through the teams just one more time for you before we go to the second half. It's not quite big enough, is it? You can't read that, you lot, can you? He says, trying to make it bigger. I hope you can see that. There you go. So, Burnley, Muric in goal. His name's cut off there. Vitinho at right back. Go on. Let's do it properly. Can you see that? It's a nightmare. I can't see both screens at the same time. There you go. Vitinho right back. Martin left back. Bayer and Harwood Bellis, who's had so much of the ball. Harwood Bellis, hasn't he? Cullen and Cork. Zaruri and Benson. I give Blackburn some credit. They've kept Benson and Zaruri nice and quiet, haven't they? Brownhill off Barnes at the front. It's been hard for Brownhill to get right up and support Barnes, hasn't it, to be blindly honest. Kaminsky in goal for Blackburn. He made a really good save at the end of the first half. Hyam, Ayala and Moller, particularly those two, Ayala and Hyam, have done well when crosses have come in. As I said in the first half, you would imagine getting Benson and Zuri to run that ball into the box would be preferable rather than dropping it on the head of particularly Ayala in the middle there. Britton and Hedges, wing backs. Morton and Travis, the only yellow card. There you go. It does show up on the ticker there, the yellow card. Garrett and Diaz, Gallagher up top. Remember, this will be an as things stand table. So Burnley, we've added a point on, obviously, as it's 0-0 for both. Burnley would go in to the World Cup break just shy of 2 points per game. There'd be 3 points shy, in fact, of 2 points per game. Blackburn will be on 37. You would imagine if this does end 0-0 and you polled Blackburn fans and Burnley fans, be more than happy with where they both are, wouldn't they? Burnley leading the table. And Blackburn tucked in there nicely in third with a managerial change in the summer as well. Pretty good. Second half has kicked off. They're going to have another go at that because there are about 5 Burnley players in the Blackburn half and 1 Blackburn player in the Burnley half when that ball was kicked. Right, away we go. 0-0. Second half. I'm watching on Sky Sports Football HD Live. We'll give you a timestamp if and when you please it. Remember, please. It says down there, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you to Lex Alexis for the super chat as well. You can support via super chat. This is absolutely free. our little coming together and talking about the game. But you can support me financially. Really, really helps out with trying to make some kind of part-time living out of YouTube and covering football, which we have managed to do. Thank you muchly to you guys and to the guys over on Patreon as well. There you go. I'll stop shilling and we'll talk about the football as Muric comes way out of his goal and tries to ping that one out onto the wing. Right, I'm going to give you a timestamp. I'm going to be at 46 minutes in 3, 2, 1, sync. That is where I am on my coverage. If you're watching on Smart TV, if you're on Sky Go or any Wi-Fi based thing, you might well be a little bit behind Dish signal. I'm sure that will change over the years and the Wi-Fi will get quicker. I just think there's a bit more processing in the way than the Dish, which seems to come a little bit more directly. Oh, let's do the comments. Should do it backwards. Up the blades. Is there any way the blades can be top after this? I haven't done the maths. Oh, into the box here comes Diaz. Drives the shot right-footed. Decent save there. He was strong there, Muric, actually. We were a bit critical of him last week in the game against said Blades. He stood up there. I think he let that one hit him in the chest. Diaz, again, as we've mentioned, that in off the left. So dangerous, isn't he? He's got good feet as well. And Muric stands up where he's trying to find the far post there. Diaz. It's good goalkeeping all the way around there. Good position. Stood up to it very, very nicely. Right, corner to Blackburn. Is it the first? Feels like it. In it goes to the near post. Martson clears. Not a great corner. That one, right. I was going to go to some comments, but Blackburn have maintained being high up the pitch here. Travis just has to go backwards into Hyam. Travis swings a cross in, headed away by Bayer. Got a bit of a lucky bounce there, Blackburn. That's a foul, isn't it, on the edge of the box? Referee Coop, who I think's had a good game, says no. So Beansy's been getting most stuff right. We'll trust him on that one. Martin appeals for the throw-in, and it goes Blackburn's way. Sorry, I was going to do some comments. Here, although it looks like we've just got a discussion about Zian Fleming, who scored a hat-trick yesterday for Millwall. Obviously, keep that debate going in the comments. I may not read all of them out. Big switch of play early there for Hedges and Kane. They're trying to get Diaz off Vitinho's shoulder there. The Chilean and the Brazilian. Here come Blackburn again. That's a dreadful pass. I think it was Hedges who come short. He didn't get the run. Gallagher is down. Looks like his knee. He's just having a word with Martson about it, actually. The outside of the knee. It's probably an impact one. What happened? No idea. Might have just caught a flailing leg or something. Jean-Dal Thomason watches on. Would I take Gyökeres and Dyer at Ipswich? I think we all know the answer to that, don't we? Some good strikers in the Championship this season. I suspect I can probably bring up that top scorers race. Loads of players tied on 9. One of them is Ben Brereton and Diaz. But look, Njai, Yates, Sargent, McBurney, Hogan, brother, Diaz, Gyökeres, Rodriguez, all tied on 9 there. So not a vintage. I don't think we're going to get a Mitrovic. Oh, never get a Mitrovic total again, probably for about 50 years. But we normally we got Tony go over 30, didn't we? And Pookie got very close to 30 for Norwich in 18-19. As Zaruri tries to beat Hedges there, who's, let's be honest, Hedges has had the beating of Zaruri down that side. For some reason, Sky's clock is telling us that there are -9 minutes. I think a glitch in the matrix there. I should be able to get a clock up here. We're 47. Yeah, Sky have taken it off the screen there. I was going to give you a time check. Here comes Bayer. Tries to slide that one through. Muller comes out and makes the tackle. Oh, in it goes. Barnes holds it up. Oh, big tackle there. Well defended Rovers. There was a huge block in there. Ashley Barnes is an absolute battering ram. He backs in. He manages to hold it up. I didn't quite catch who arrived in a Rovers shirt, but there was a huge block. And if it's a fairly easy finish, Barnes times his run. And it's Britton actually coming across. I think it's Brownhill arriving there. Really good defending from Britton, who's playing left wing back. Gets across on the cup. It's a great tackle, isn't it? Jack Vale has come on for Sam Gallagher. So whatever happened, however innocuous it looked, I think it might have just been a flailing leg. That's Gallagher done, which does weaken Rovers up top. Cork tries to switch the play. Burnley trying to keep the pressure up after that. Ball knocked into the box for Barnes. Nearly forced a big chance for Josh Brownhill. Great block. From, I was going to say Leon Britton then. Who did Leon Britton used to play for? Swansea, wasn't it? Callum Britton. Even spelt differently, isn't it? What happened to Liam at Wigan? Is it dodgy finances or did he lose the players? Shame that one, wasn't it? Signed a new contract. Fired a couple of weeks later. They were on a very poor run though. Wigan. Oh, little bit of a naughty one there. Hyam bumps Zaruri off the pitch. Tells him in no uncertain terms to get up. And one of our friendly betting companies is getting some very good exposure here. Oof. I think Zaruri is okay. Blackburn's possession is creeping up. Yes, absolutely. They did concede lots of possession, didn't they, in that first half? Excuse me. As a neutral, who are your favourite players to watch in the Championship? God, too many to mention. I like Benson at Burnley. I like Ndiaye at Sheffield United. I like Norwood at Sheffield United. Actually, ping the ball about. I like João Pedro at Watford. Quite like Nunez at Norwich. Too many. Chair and Willock at QPR, obviously. Grimes circulating the ball at Swansea. Oh, and Burnley take the lead out of nowhere down the left-hand side. A really good cross by Zaruri. He's just been smashed into the advertising hoardings. He's all right now. And he puts a brilliant cross in. Ashley Barnes is in there inside the 6-yard box. We said they would miss Jay Rodriguez, but with service like that, Barnes is easily capable of heading that one into the back of the net, and Burnley lead 1-0 in this big derby, and they are heading into the World Cup. Top of the league. It went down the left-hand side to Zaruri. Hedges, who I said had played him well, he doesn't get out quickly enough, doesn't get tight enough. It's a great cross. And Barnes, he smashes Kaminsky into the net as well. Bit naughty there, Barnes. Shoves him, but he will not care. Ayala just gets caught out, but I think we need to give credit to the cross. That's a filthy cross, isn't it, by Zaruri? And Barnes easily able to head in. It is 1-0 to Burnley. Actually, Barnes, Sky tell us that is his first championship goal of the season. It's Burnley 1, Blackburn 0, and Barnes is the scorer. Zaruri is the provider. And Burnley are in front. Get your thoughts in via the comments. Looks like the atmosphere really kicking off there, picking up at Turf Moor as Burnley lead in this big Northwest derby up in Lancashire. Get your thoughts in via the comments on that one. Zaruri, provider. Barnes, finisher. Should we go to our favourite place on the channel? Let's go to the live league table, where Burnley fans are going to like this because they are closer to 2 points per game right now. They are projecting to be at 41 points at the end of this game. It would be a 3-point advantage on Sheffield United. Blackburn will be third unless they turn this around and win. Burnley are heading into the World Cup. Top of the pile. Well, here come Blackburn and Diaz into the box. Vitinho cuts it out. Corner to Blackburn. Keep your comments coming in. I'll go to them in just a sec. Blackburn are going to want a quick reply, and they've got a corner. Can they get a good delivery? It's going to be an out swinger. Muller is up. Hyam is up. In it goes. I think it was Muller. Heads it up and over the bar. I think it's going to be another corner, so it must have come off a Burnley defender last. Hedges is going to take another corner. In it comes, left-footed. Head like a 50p there from Cork. I thought that was another corner, but I'll reserve judgment. It's going to be a goal kick until I see the replay of that one. Referee Koo, who has got most things right today. Yeah, that's another corner, isn't it? Never mind. Not given. As Burnley look to defend, hold, build on the 1-0 lead they've just got after Ashley Barnes headed in that Zaruri cross. Here comes Benson now. Benson does really well, prods it into the box, tries to kind of like stud it in. Chip, it's cleared out to Bayer. Nice tempo to the game. Now here's Martson. Martson to Zaruri, who brilliantly assisted that first goal, that only goal today. Zaruri again. Hedges cuts out. It's going to fall for Brownhill. Headed on to Zaruri. Not quite on the same wavelength. Clever idea from Brownhill. Good feet by Zaruri. He fancies this now. And it goes low. Oh, it's brilliant from Zaruri. And Benson, I think, took that off Barnes' foot there. The winger, Zaruri, now is really at it down the left-hand side for Burnley. Really playing well. He's got them on toast, actually, in the corner there. Sorry, I'll take that back. Barnes took that off the toe of Benson, who might have been arriving from a slightly better angle. Woof. Let's go to some comments. João Pedro for me. Yeah, lovely dribbler. Very naughty from Barnes, yeah. He had a little shove there after he scored, didn't he? And Jai, best player in the championship by a mile. I think by a mile is probably exaggerating it, Gaza. But I agree, he's very good. And Jai, excellent player. Oh, little poke through. Martson's into the box. Good defending there. I think it's Travis on the cover. Good feet there. Takes on Brownhill. Up the Clarets, says Leanne. Indeed. KFC delivery. That's tremendous. Some of the names we get in the chat here, unbelievable. Click down the line by Vitinho. Moller sweeps up, though, as we come up 60 minutes. That is a foul on Garrett by Cork. I think Garrett's going to stay down, and referee Coote has brought out the yellow card there. Jack Cork joins Lewis Travis in the book. Happy days for those Burnley fans. Enjoying a good old sing-song. Oh, God, I don't like it when it does this. Power will be switched off in 5 minutes. And do you know the worst thing? This remote controls my light as well. Where's the light remote? That's there. Oh, dear. First world problems here. Right, I had it on cold, didn't I? That's too bright, isn't it? Warm? Or did we have it on white? Or did we have it on cold, just on a lower setting? How's that? Should we go a bit higher? Does that look all right? Or do I look like Casper the Friendly Ghost? You'll have to tell me. My volume button seems to have an effect. Maybe I just shouldn't use the volume button. Lesson learned. Who knows? Shut up, Ben. Talk about the football. I hear you. Martson. Little one inside. Brownhill goes back to Bayer. Just the one sub so far in this one. Vale coming in for Gallagher. I suspect Blackburn in particularly will be headed to the bench very, very soon as they chase a 1-0 deficit in this one. Vale coming on and playing up top in place of Gallagher. Hopefully I've just updated that for you. On the ticker, Travis, looks that one out left. Garrett, Diaz, hits the deck a bit dramatically after a 50-50 there with Vitinho. Lewis, afternoon, great win in MK, 6.5, yeah, brilliant away following for Derby yesterday. People love taking big followings to MK, don't they? Going to have some food beforehand, big away end, good travelling links. Yeah, it does look like Derby are adjusting. They're in the top 6 as well, Derby. Look dangerous under Paul Warne, don't they? The master of League One. Oh, big hit by Barnes there. I think he might get a yellow card for that one. Always been he holds his hand up and says sorry. Always been a very physical player, Ashley Barnes. They do have Dervis Soglu. Diaz rightly pointing out he'll be lucky to get away without a yellow for that one. It was a bit hefty. Referee Coote very clearly says one more and you're in the book. That looks like a yellow to me, to be fair, but referees have a hard job, don't they? Hey? Did Blackburn look like scoring? Asked Thomas. No. It's a really important question, and they don't. Not yet. Free kick goes in long from Rovers. Ayala's in a crossing position there. And he shows all the grace there of Bambi on ice, bless him. And kind of hooks that up and over. I have to get... Lewis, yes, please. We'd love to have a Derby fan on the round table over on Patreon. That'd be great, actually. Sign up, by the way, guys. Patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Please come and join me. Chop it up. We have a good chat all together on the roundtables. Great to hear from you guys, especially supporters of different teams. Got a really good mix over on Patreon. Patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. We thank very kindly all the people who are signed up there. Burnley 1, Blackburn 0. It's a poor Blackburn fan watching through her fingers there. Not enjoying the possibility here of losing this local derby. And that is what is going to happen unless Blackburn could score in this game. They are 1-0 down. Ashley Barnes heading in from Zaruri's cross. Here comes Britain given away. And now Zaruri, who's been playing very well the last 10 minutes, comes down the left. They've doubled up this time sensibly. Oh, he's been caught there, Zaruri. Is the yellow card going to come out for that one as well? I think the tactic now of Blackburn with Zaruri is get into him, basically. Let's have a look at this one. Zaruri went down the line, back inside. It's a bit hefty, isn't it? From Britain. Did he get booked? I suppose, not that the laws of football work like this, but if Barnes got let off that last one, then I understand why referee Coote, who I think has been quite good today, let that one go, because otherwise you're going to start getting 6, 7, 8 yellow cards in the game. So fair dues then. Free kick to Burnley. And it goes from Benson to the edge of the box, headed on, cleared out by a Blackburn. Moller knocks that one down the line. And out it goes. Ben, do you think Huddersfield will stay up? Because I don't think we will. Well, Aidan, you probably know more about Huddersfield than me if you're a Huddersfield fan, but I do agree with you. At the moment, it doesn't look like Huddersfield are going to stay up. But that's not to say that Mark Fotheringham can't get something together in the next 4 weeks and they come back from the World Cup break and go on a good run. At the moment, it's not. I'm not seeing enough, but that's not to say that won't change. We do know with Huddersfield, though, if things don't change, they will be relegated this season, which would be a great shame after being. I saw them losing at Wembley in the playoff final. Here is Harwood Burles knocks it back. Guys, for old time's sake, would you like me to open up the fake news sin bin? Because I've got someone to put in here. Should we open up the fake news sin bin for El Midin? I'm going to butcher that if I do it. Go on, in you go. The fake news sin bin. You're in the timeout for 5 minutes. We're about to get a sub for Blackburn. Buckley is going to come on for Garrett. I thought Buckley was on loan at Port Vale. No, that's Butterworth, isn't it? There you go. The fake news sin bin has been endorsed. So I should be more sensible. Who did he come on for? I must pay attention. Buckley's on. I assume he came on for Garrett. We missed it. Yeah, I need to get the music back, don't I? Da, 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 da. Liam, high tide at the bottom this year. Possibly, Liam. I just never trust the bottom of the table to do a high tide. You just assume that, the quality will drop off as the year goes on and it will be normal. Here comes Benson down the right-hand side. It's projecting it, though, isn't it? Benson puts the cross in low. Barnes there on the near post. Can't quite get it. He's always back in. Always got his back to goal, Barnes. Good play by Benson. Would have been a hard one to hook in when I put Shaley in the timeout. That was not my finest hour, was it? The chat moved so quickly, and yeah, I put my missus, my fiance, into the fake news sin bin. JR, I need Blackburn to score for my bet. Well, have you got both teams to score? It's not looking like happening at the moment, I have to say. If Blackburn score, I'll subscribe. No, I'm not having that. Hit subscribe now. It looks like Benson is coming out and Teller is coming in. Let me try and update this ticker. So Teller in for Benson. He's waving two fingers there. So we'll see whether maybe there's a bit of a change of shape. Teller might be going to play up top with Barnes. Yeah, it looks like maybe he has. Interesting call that from Vincent Company. So Teller, the Southampton loanee, is on. If I do my job properly, I can update that Buckley came on for Garrett. Let me just press some buttons here. 21, Buckley. Why are you doing a search? Don't do that. Oh, into the box here. Oh, it was Teller already causing trouble there down the byline. Sorry. Took me eye off the ball. There. All right, Bosch. Please tell me that's worked. All the subs should be updated there. Excuse me. Corner then to Burnley taken short. Grossly overhit ball on the back post there. Excuse me. Matt, excuse me. Any whispers on who the new Litterman's can be? I've heard nothing. I would tell you if I had. I quite like the idea of Critchley. Lots of people are talking about Gary O'Neill at Bournemouth as well. We will find out. Luton very switched on with their equipment. Here's Barnes, hits it on the volley. Good save. Kaminsky, and the follow-up is in. Zaruri sticks it into the back of the net. He has had an excellent second half, and he has surely guaranteed the points here for Burnley. It's Burnley 2, Blackburn 0. Zaruri gets the second. Burnley are going to be heading into the World Cup with 41 points on top of the Championship. They are 2-0 up, and I suspect with 73 minutes gone, that is game over. What went wrong there? It was a goal kick taken by Ayala, and they get caught playing out from the back. It's a lovely flick, you have to say, by Teller. Barnes hits the first shot, good save. Zaruri follows it in and sticks the... is it full on the volley, or is it just a half volley? It's a half volley there. Really, it's a good finish, actually. Really well controlled. Zaruri probably deserves that for his excellent second half performance. He's probably going to end up being the man of the match with a goal and an assist now. He's made the difference, and Burnley are 2-0 up. And I suppose you've got to give Vincent Company some credit, haven't you? He's just put Teller in, stuck him up front with Ashley Barnes to press Blackburn at the back there. And it worked a charm. They immediately score from it. Clinton Moller got caught in possession, or playing out rather. And it is 2-0 to Burnley. I will go back to the live league table. It has not changed other than another goal in the goal column for Blackburn and another one, for Burnley and another one against. But in fact, it hasn't updated there by the look of it. But you know what I'm saying. 41 points it's going to be for Burnley unless we get a mad Blackburn comeback in the last 15 of this. Burnley are 2-0 up in the big derby match against Blackburn. Get your comments in. Woof. 2-0 goal. Poor defending. Well, it's almost the defending that wasn't the defending that was the problem. It was the attempt to build the play out from the back, wasn't it? They couldn't do a lot once they'd given the ball away, chasing their tails. Zaruri sticks it in to the back of the net. Bradley Dack is going to come in for Lewis Travis. Blackburn need something, and they need it very, very quickly. Number 23, Dack in. Creative player, good dribbler. Got the killer ball in his locker, has Dack. They need it, Blackburn, don't they? They're 2-0 down. Britain knocks that one inside. Forward it goes. It's going to fall down for Vale. Here's Hedges. Hedges tries to step inside. Martson on the cover, given away. It's clipped back in. Here is Diaz. Inside it goes. Buckley. Across from Hedges. Moller is well up the pitch now, and he wins a free kick. Interested to know what you think of Bristol City so far this season. Well, I thought they were really good, and now I think they're really bad. Went a bit like that Bristol City season, didn't it? So far. Charlie, 3-1-er. There you go. It's on. In goes the free kick from Blackburn. They thought that one was going to be a corner. Alas, no. Probably should have been. Looked like it came off Brownhill there as Vale went up to challenge. I thought all my watch-alongs ended 0-0. Now, this is obviously clear fake news. The problem is that people moan a lot when a watch-along does end 0-0, but that's probably the least frequent scoreline in the watch-alongs, 0-0. They're very rarely 0-0, in fact. Today, no exception. Diaz strong. Shoulders Markson off the ball. In comes the cross. And cleared away. Do I remember Barnsley? Oh, that was dreadful, wasn't it? Yeah. If you want to moan about a 0-0, it's that one. It's one of the worst football matches I think I've ever seen. Horrible conditions, no crowd, and a terrible football match. The worst. To be fair, Barnsley beat loads of teams that year, didn't they? They've only got in the playoffs, and they didn't beat Derby that night. So maybe Wayne Rooney got his tactics right. Take a point. Horrible. Blackburn are going all-out attack here. There may well be another goal in this game. I always say that, but cleared away by Burnley. Cork. Zaruri trying a little drag and scoop down the line. Little overconfident, but he deserves it, I guess, doesn't he? Huddersfield Cardiff 2020. Did we do that one? If we did, it must have been so bad because I literally can't remember doing the game if we did. Was it terrible? It's gone into my brain and out of my brain. Derby 0, Watford 1. I do vaguely remember that. I think João Pedro scored in that game, didn't he? There is Alan Pace, the Burnley chairman, who appears to be holding both his wife and his daughter's hands. Maybe he's cold. Here comes Teller. That sub's worked out all right, hasn't it? Little clip down the line. Oh, Brownhill's worked his way into the box. He's got past Muller. Oh, Barnes, good feet. It's going to be 3-0. It's deflected, and it is 3-0. Got a little bit lucky, but the build-up was excellent. And it's 3-0 to Burnley. I said Blackburn are going for it here. There may well be another goal. There is another goal. And this is ending very, very badly for Blackburn. It's Burnley 3, Blackburn 0. Barnes gets his second. It has a bit of a deflection. And Muller gets caught again. He gets beaten by Brownhill. It's really good feet by Barnes. To be fair, the deflection flips the ball up. It doesn't change the actual direction, if you understand what I'm saying. It's excellent from Barnes, actually. I think he's still going for that corner, isn't he? Yeah, I think it just bumps it up a little bit, and Kaminsky's already wrong-footed. Barnes gets his second, and there was me saying they would miss Rodriguez. There you go. I wholeheartedly apologise to Ashley Barnes, who's been excellent and scored twice in this game. Burnley 3, Blackburn 0. And if it wasn't all over at 2-0 about 5-6 minutes ago, it's definitely all over now. And there is a very glum-looking Blackburn fan there in the stands. Charlie Taylor has come on for Ian Martson. That would appear to be a straight swap at fullback. Burnley able to use that squad. See this one out. Get your thoughts in. 3-0. Woof. Is Teller on loan or permanent? No, Teller is only on loan. I'm sure they'd like him permanently. Brilliant from Teller as well. He's been a rather good sub, hasn't he? Love to see the top two be non-parachute payment clubs. Yeah. I think you might be wishing and a hope in there. Barry. RIP money. I like that. Oh, God. That was almost entertaining, West Brom Newcastle, because it was so bad. The fact that the negativity from both of the managers to not even attempt to win the game. Especially West Brom. I think Newcastle ended up finishing 12 or something, didn't they? Free kick to Burnley, who are cruising in now. Burnley 3, Blackburn 0. Brownhill is going to take it. Floaty one in. Dak jumps underneath it. It's on to Cork. That was a good chance. There's a block in there. Blackburn need to be a bit careful here. It's getting very, very loose at the back. I don't want to lose 4-5-0 here. It's a good block, that, actually, by Ayala. Good headed kick at defender. But yeah, you just need to keep their heads here, Blackburn. Else this could really go south. Corner to Burnley, who are smelling blood, aren't they? I did go to Watford versus Luton, which ended 4-0. These derby games have a habit of, once they go, don't they? They're very tight. The corner's still live there. Barnes appealing for a handball. Ayala hooks it out. I think once that pressure gets uncorked, they can get stretched derby matches. See a lot of 1-0s either way, and then they can go 3-4-0, can't they? Shout for handball there. Of reserve judgment. Corner. In it goes, headed up in the air. Another corner. Taylor grabs the ball off Kaminsky. What happened here? I took a call for work for 5 minutes. Come in. Well, that's your punishment, Blake, for working on a Sunday. Hey, you missed half the goals. Who do I think will win the World Cup next week? Well, hopefully England, Eugene, but I'm not confident. Corner for Brownhill. I think that one's spun straight out of play, hasn't it? Or have they given something? Ashley Barnes is mouthing off to Ayala, as you'd imagine. What's going on here? Ayala has been yellow carded. I think they've gotten away with one a little bit because it looked like Brownhill's corner went out of play before it came back in. All sorts of fun and games there. To be fair, the referee's called that one right. Ayala grabs Cork around the neck and throws him to the deck. And Brownhill's going to get another go from the corner. Diaz heads away. All the fun and games done. Referee Coote was given a foul after all of that. Burnley have 3 outstanding white players in Benson, Zaruri and Teller. They got some options there, haven't they? Off comes Ashley Barnes, who is well and truly milking this. He has been very good, especially in the second half, and scored 2 goals. They've provided in the service. Bit of a deflection for the second one, but really good feet to control the ball before he got a tiny little bit of luck there. He gives Vincent Kompany a huge hug. And if Sky will show us, it's Dervis Soglu who is coming on to replace him. It looked like it was going to be a double sub. Yeah, Zaruri is coming off as well. He turned the game, didn't he, Zaruri? Excellent performance. Goodmanson is going to come on for him. Burnley using the 5 subs wisely here, and also just showing us what a good load of options they've got in their squad. They're on the attack again here. Teller coming down the left-hand side. Back to Taylor, another one of the subs. Taylor crossing position down the left. Is he going to stick it in the box? He is not. And it is hoiked away by Blackburn. 87:45 on the clock. Rovers fans probably just want this done now and get into that World Cup break. And they need to not forget they've had a very, very good first portion of the season, Blackburn. Not as good as Burnley, though, who are going to be top of the table going into our Qatari hiatus. Dom Hyam's centre-back partner in the Reading Academy was Rob Dickey. Didn't get a transfer fee for Ireland. That'd be a good championship partnership, that, wouldn't it? Dickey and Hyam. Although they both sort of play in back threes, don't they? Vincent Kompany, next Man City manager after Pep, calling it now. I'm sure Man City would like that very much if he can get a decent trajectory. You would think in order to manage Manchester City, Kompany basically would need to get promoted and then stabilise Burnley in the Premier League, and Pep would have to stay a few years. But makes sense on paper, doesn't it? Although knowing Pep, they probably already know who the next manager is, and he's already at the club and in training. Here is Teller. Oh, Teller trying to go between 2 there. Oh, I thought he might have got foul out of that. He did not. Tried a little Romario-esque scoop through the 2 there. Looked like he'd been body checked, to be fair, but there you go. Did I watch the cricket? Well, not that I would have understood what was going on. When I was setting up earlier, it was on the channel that this game was on, so I did see a little bit of it, but I can't profess to have any knowledge on the cricket. As we come up to full time in this one, probably going to get 5 or 6 minutes on the stoppage time. Britain. Have Britain and Hedges swapped sides and I haven't noticed? Vale. Or has he moved into midfield? I think he's moved Hedges into midfield, hasn't he? One last hurrah for Blackburn. Oh, only 3 minutes stoppage time. There you go. Wrong on that one. Butterworth to Morton. That feels like the first time I've mentioned Morton's name, which suggests Burnley may well have dominated the central midfield area. Blackburn try the switch of play, and it is out as we move through stoppage time. Comfortable afternoon for Burnley, agreed. In the end, Ashley Barnes is having his hair done. I think that was... Does Vidra still play for Burnley? Was that Vidra? Pass. All fun and games in the Burnley dugout when you're 3-0 up in a local derby and going top of the league, going into the World Cup break. You can afford to, can't you? Dervisoglu carries it forward. They've got a man over here. He picked the wrong pass there, Dervisoglu. Goodmanson was arriving. What are Teller and the centre-half doing there? Big problems there. I suspect the cameras will have picked that up. Referee Coote turned his back. Vidra is a free agent. Okay. It looked like him in the face, Lewis. Completely wrong, though. Down the line it goes. Teller is running in behind. Here is Teller. You know, this could go 4-0 in stoppage time, couldn't it? Especially if they get Teller on the ball. Exeter Ridge, yeah, we might be able to cover that one. That sounds fun. Long way to travel. God, isn't it? Yeah. Wayne, afternoon. I am great, Wayne. How did Fulham do yesterday? Did they play yesterday, Fulham? Wasn't across the Premier League. Oh, dear. Someone's thrown a flare literally right into where the players are. The lack of intelligence of some football fans really is bewildering. I'm not sure Sky will show a replay of that. I'm not sure I want to see it either, but yeah, not good if I saw that correctly. Or is it a firework coming out of the sky? Pass. Didn't look good. And we'll move on from that because it is full time and it's Burnley 3, Blackburn 0. Well played, Burnley. Very good value for it in the end. Blackburn had a little spell towards the end of the first half, but I'm sure when we bring the numbers up, the stats will tell us they really just didn't create anything. Took Burnley a fair while to break Blackburn down, but that they did with some real quality from Zaroury down the left-hand side. He set up Barnes for the opener. Zaroury himself followed him for the second. Barnes got the third. Fairly comprehensive in the end. Let's have a look at the stats. Nearly 60% possession there. Look at that XG. 2.4 to 0.07 would suggest Burnley were really good value for this. 17 shots to 1. 3 big chances to 0. It is dominant in the end for Burnley. Well played, Vincent Kompany and his men. Let's get that league table up just one more time for you. And you will see Burnley, not quite 2 points per game, but they are not only 3 points clear at the top, they are 5 points clear because Blackburn, the team they are playing, sort of 6-pointer style thing there. 5 points clear in terms of the automatic chase. So a really good job by Vincent Kompany in this first portion of the season. You have to say a really good job by John Dahl-Thomas. And actually, Blackburn still there in third on the basis that they've won 12 games, which is more than any team in the league. Fulham play today, do they? There we go. Thank you, guys. Mick, think Burnley's quality is shown in this game. Absolutely does. David, thanks. Enjoyed that. Hit the like button. Yeah, before you go, guys, do hit the like button. Well played, Burnley. Well done, Vincent Kompany, who's taking the plaudits rightly. So they are the Championship's leading lights, the best team in the league over these first 21 games. Blackburn remain third that'll be our last championship action for, it's like December the 10th or something until we come back. So we will now divert to the World Cup and maybe some League One and League Two stuff. Thank you, everybody, for watching as ever. Hit the like button before you go. It was Burnley 3, Blackburn 0. We'll see you all very soon.